What's up, everybody? Welcome to another live here on YouTube talking about the BMW i8. And every single time I go live, it seems like I've got some sort of camera issues that I'm working through. Fortunately, this time it took a lot less time to figure out and a lot less time to get things going. So I appreciate everybody being patient. Getting started like 2 minutes late here. So first of all, thank you, everybody who's joining me on the live, whether on YouTube or on X. If you are not following me on YouTube, make sure to do so. Or if you're not following me on X/Twitter, make sure to do so. Highway Spec in both places. Pretty simple to remember. So what I want to talk about today is reactions to the BMW i8. Is it a supercar? It's one of my more recent videos. Make sure to check it out if you haven't done so already. The funny thing is, I thought I was getting a lot of reactions to it, but the more recent video that I just put out yesterday, the BMW M car bracket, to kind of celebrate March Madness, that thing, that's gotten some hate. There's one car I particularly liked that not a lot of other people liked. But one thing that was helpful in that video that I will do in this one too is I'm going to offer up this. Yes, it looks like $100, but if I can actually get it to focus, it's play money, but it doesn't matter. If you make a comment on this video, I will pick a random comment within the next 24 hours. I will pick a random comment to win yourself $100 of play money. I will send it to you. So let me know what you think of this video, of some of the reactions. Which was your favorite reaction? Which was your favorite thing that people said about the BMW i8? Now, the BMW i8 is a very controversial car. It has the looks of a supercar. It has the feel of a supercar in a way. And to somebody who doesn't know cars, it definitely is a supercar. To somebody who does know cars, well, I don't want to spoil the ending. Make sure to check out the other video. But yeah, I was surprised at the results. That's why the thumbnail shows surprising and me with a shocked face. And it's not because of clickbait. It's because I genuinely was surprised at the result. I did not expect what ended up happening. So there you go. There's a little teaser into it. But I wanted to pull up my Instagram. That's where I've gotten the most comments thus far about the BMW i8. And this was a video that, there we go. That's a better view there. So this is a video that I was just putting on Instagram. I didn't even think much of it. All I did was I put the camera up and I said, hey, you got BMW i8 for 24 hours. You going Eco, Pro, Comfort, Sport mode, whatever it is. And I've got 137 comments thus far on it. I was, like I said, surprised at what I got out of that. Definitely a lot of people feel very strongly about the BMW i8. So hence why we're here talking about it, because I was surprised. First of all, I'm fleeing the country with it. Good to me. That makes sense. Yeah, you get a nice car. It's $60,000, $80,000. This was a roadster version, so it was actually a little bit more expensive. And they're just like, hey, I'm out of here. Sport, so I can wrap it around a tree as fast as possible. So a lot of people that did not like the BMW i8. I'm going to leave the keys where they are and go home walking. The next one, I would sell it. And I would get down and get a proper car and drive that. Unfortunately, for a lot of these, I'm like, hey, what car? Like, tell me, what car do you think is a proper car compared to this i8? Nobody responds, unfortunately, because they're probably embarrassed that they're like, oh yeah, my Civic is cooler than a BMW i8. But really, is it? I don't think so. This one I loved. My motorcycle has more cylinders. It's true. It only has a 3-cylinder turbocharged motor along with an electric motor. So yes, it does not have a lot. And you can see, I like these comments. I think these are hilarious. Even the ones they're like attacking me. I don't care. I think it's hilarious that these are that people find this worth commenting over. All right, would it even really matter? You're just picking modes for the color in the dash. And I get that. So I asked, red or blue? No response. Come on, people. Respond to these comments. I'm leaving it in park. My response, the park can be very scenic. Smart choice. And I stand by that. There are a few people who are saying it has 3 cylinders, but still does 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 4.2 seconds. It's true. It really is not that slow. No, it's not super fast. Yes, it has a 3-cylinder, but it's not that bad. It's not what it should have been. It's not the halo car that BMW really thought it should be. But that doesn't mean it's a terrible car. It isn't. It just didn't live up to what people's expectations were. So they're just going to write it off entirely and just say they hate it. Why do cars have modes? One person did say an Eco Pro. This is my friend Tommy. Shout out to him. He does drive a Tesla. And so I said, you must be a Tesla driver, which 31 people liked that comment, which is interesting. The only thing that stands up to BMW i8 hate is Tesla hate. I don't get it. People find things to get more upset about. There are a lot worse things out there than Teslas and BMW i8s, but it is providing a lot of entertainment for me and hopefully for you. So still waiting for the i16. It'll come out someday, right? I don't think so. I'm going for sport. That third is going into the mode off. I don't want any driver's aid, which I can't blame you. I think that's the way to go. And finally, i8 equals 3-cylinder, Prius equals 4-cylinder. Let that sink in. Yes, to my response, still would rather drive the i8. And there was another Prius comment somewhere along here where I said, what is it? Something about the Prius, and yeah, I've lost it. So anyway, those are just the Instagram comments. Definitely very interesting to see how much hate is out there for the BMW i8. And then we also have several comments on TikTok. I couldn't pull that up here, but again, a lot of people saying how terrible of a car it is, how slow it is. And honestly, I'm playing into it because it's like, okay, name a car that looks fast that isn't. And of course, I put a video of a BMW i8 up that I had on my phone from renting that on Turo. And of course, everybody's like, oh, BMW i8. Well, of course, I'm kind of leading with that. But it's kind of fun to see all the strong reactions. But yeah, it's very intriguing that people find some of these things worth commenting over. But if you have actually looked at the video and seen the video, let me know, because I think that this doesn't provide enough context if you haven't seen the video. I say some things that might be a little bit controversial, but a lot of people might agree with as well. And I think that's what makes the video so good, is that, and I'm not saying my quality's that good or anything like that. I'm not patting myself on the back here. I think the idea behind the video is what makes it so good, is that people are so divided. It's very much like politics, where you think you're way over here or way over here and there's nothing in the middle. That's the way people are with this BMW i8. People either love it or hate it. And the interesting thing, when I was looking up, before I rented it, I was doing some research on it, and I asked Google, is this a supercar? The only place that said it was a supercar was either before it came out and they drove it. So there were some publications, they're like, hey, BMW's putting out a supercar, and then they drove it and they're like, it's a sports car. But BMW blogs, every BMW blog, forum, whatever, they called it a supercar. And I get that. You want that. You want the halo car to be a supercar, even though, Dodge's Viper back in the day, I don't think was a supercar per se, even though that's what I had before my Audi R8. I had a Gen 1 Dodge Viper, but for a different purpose. I'm going to have to tell that story one day, because that was honestly an interesting story, that whole Dodge Viper situation, both ownership and the process of acquiring it. So if you are watching live here, let me know, do you think the BMW i8 is a supercar? Yes, no, why not? And if you didn't catch the start of this live, I am giving away $100 of play money. Yes, it is play money. There we go. For any comments on this video, not all the comments, but I'm going to randomly pick a couple comments within the next 24 hours. So make sure to drop a comment. Let me know what you think of the BMW i8. Is it actually a supercar? Were you surprised at some of the reactions that I pulled up there on just Instagram? But make sure to check out my TikTok as well and see what some of the comments are on that. But I have been really excited to try this Is It a Supercar series out. There's been some good feedback, some room for improvement as well. But I do plan to at least see this out a little while longer, try out some different cars. So make sure to also comment, what cars would you like to see me drive that you think, hey, maybe this is a supercar. Maybe it's not a supercar. And one of those things that is kind of on the in-between. And I do dive into that more on an upcoming podcast that I have coming out called Behind the Spec. The official launch will be next week, and you'll see a video about that will be going live on Tuesday, kind of explaining the process behind that a little bit more in depth. But we do address a lot of those elephants in the room of, is it a supercar? Yes or no? And so with that, I don't have anything else. If there is, if you watch this later, it still applies. If you make a comment, I will still enter you into win the $100 of play money, because that's what I've got. It's all fake, but looks impressive on video for sure, from afar. So anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for checking out Highway Spec. I really do appreciate anybody who jumped on the live or even watched this at a later date and time. Thank you so much for being a part of this channel, and I will catch you on the next video.